I talked about how I was going to tell you guys how I was planning on transitioning both of my ferrets to a raw meat diet. The first thing I've done, which Gunther, right over here, has already been fed some meats. The first time I got him on some meats, I had it mixed in with kibble. You should not do that all the time because they both digest differently. Oops. You almost fell, didn't you, bud? Here. Stand yourself up. Okay. Sorry. So he's been on only one type of meat the whole time. I just got him on a different kind of meat. It's chicken liver. And he seems to love it. It's mixed in with their kibble right now, which I don't recommend doing all the time because they digest, like I said, they digest differently. So you want there to be, you want to feed them separately, is what I'm saying. So then he was eating it very well. He can't hold himself up really well, I've noticed, so I might have to bring his bowl down. But anyway, he was just eating it really well. I just tried liver with him, and he was eating it very well, so that's really good. His first time trying it. He tried soupies one other time, and just wasn't digging it, so this time he really actually did like it. So Gunther is just digging in because he's used to it. But this little one isn't used to it. He's 5 years old, so I was pretty surprised that he dug into this. So, another way you can, one way you can try to transition them and kind of trick your little ferrets into at least tasting the meat is the first time putting some, if you get the thing of chicken livers, those are usually really bloody, it seems, almost. So you can put the blood in with their kibble and have them taste it. Most ferrets I've seen actually will eat it if it smells mostly like their food. And then, no, you're not going back to bed, mister. Get up and play. Sorry, he sleeps way, way, way too much, more than Gunther does, so I wanted him to get up and play a little bit. But anyway, another thing you can do is mix ground beef or like ground liver up and put that in there with their kibble and see if they'll eat that. I don't know why he's smelling at my hands, but he is. I probably have a Ferritone on him. But you can mix in ground beef or which they do digest differently, so I wouldn't do that all the time, just maybe the first time, see if they'll even try it. And leave it in there overnight. Some of them will eat it if they're hungry. A lot of ferrets do wake up in the middle of the night hungry. Mine do anyway. So another thing you can do, which I actually tried the ground beef mixed in with kibble with this one right here. And the first night he didn't dig into it, he didn't even touch it. The second night he dug into it and almost ate it all, so that was great. You can also take a piece of chicken or steak and cook it all the way and see if they'll then eat it. If they will eat the fully cooked chicken or fully cooked any kind of meat, you make at least every other day, cook the meat a little less until you get fully raw. That way every time they don't really notice the difference, they think it's the same and whatnot, and then they'll get used to the raw taste of it and just eat it raw. It also depends on the ferret. Your ferret might not eat the cooked chicken at all. Mine do not eat cooked chicken. This one hasn't even tasted cooked anything. So I'm going to try soupies as well, because I've noticed that more ferrets tend to eat eat it soupier, kind of, rather than a full hunk of raw meat. And then I'll slowly change the kind of, I forget the word, but what I'm going to say is texture of it, and make it a little bit thicker every time until it's full organs, full pieces of raw meat, and whatnot. Another thing I want to try to get him on is, Gunther quit, is pinkies or little mice, the frozen dead mice. I'm not going to give him live mice because that's pretty mean. But how I'm going to try to get him to do that is, I think Gunther would eat it more than this one would play with it more. Or what I'm going to do is kind of pretend like it's a toy to both of them. And I'm going to let them both just kind of, and I'm going to wiggle around their face, and if your ferrets are like most, this one probably won't, but if your ferrets are like most, they'll probably try to chase it, and they'll probably try to bite it, and then once they bite it, they're obviously going to get the taste, and that's how I'm going to try to get them to eat frozen mice. I'm also going to try to get them on egg yolk. I'll probably give it to them about once a week if I can get them both on it. I just got to buy some egg starch. I'm going to buy all the materials sometime soon. I don't know exactly. In the next few days, I'll buy them some meaty goodness and whatnot. Hi little one. So they're still going to be on kibble until I can get them to eat the full raw. Or some people use eggshell, crushed eggshell, dried crushed eggshell as edible bone. I'll have to research that first to be sure that I want to do that. I will also, for edible bone, I will also be giving them the actual, once they get used to it, the actual bones out of like a chicken wing, and things like that. The only thing I can't stress enough is if you do cook chicken and they end up liking cooked chicken or anything with bone in it, you have to take the meat off the bone, because they could, if they do eat the bone, it splinters and they'll choke on it. Cooked bone will. If it's not cooked, it's different. It won't splinter and all that, but if it's cooked, it will splinter and it could choke them. So that's kind of has been my little journey so far, what I'm planning to do and everything. I'm keeping a little kind of like booklet to kind of keep track of how they've been doing and whatnot. This one I was actually surprised, Ricky here, I was actually surprised that he even ate any that was in this bowl. At first, if you can see, right here is some liver, and there's some liver in there. I don't recommend feeding kibble and raw at the same time all the time. You can try it the first couple times, and if they start eating it really well, then try to feed them separately at different times. Or just try feeding more raw if they'll eat different types of raw. If they won't, you may have to feed the raw that they're used to and will eat, rather than the kibble and the raw meat, because they do digest differently and it can cause an upset stomach. Another thing, hello baby. Another thing is if you are mixing kibble with it, which is this is another idea of mine, is you can slowly add more raw meat every other night, or every other day, whatever time of the day you're planning on doing it. And then once you get a lot of raw meat in there, start taking out kibble every other night until you're left with a full bowl of just their raw stuff. So that's just my little rambling on about what I plan to do to get my ferrets on a raw diet. Just a little tips and ideas for you guys on what you can do if you're trying to switch. Some ferrets can be a little tricky, I think this guy's going to be really tricky on me, and Gunther's a little tricky too, but not too bad because he's not even one yet. So I will be making update videos on how the little guys are doing. You're trying to jump, aren't you? How the little guys are doing and what they've been up to, and if they're eating more of the raw. So thanks for watching. Comment and subscribe.